So I needed to do a video this week that wasn't obviously just like football related or the Combat Weekly. And every week I want to do football videos, the football podcast, which is last night we had a FaceTime with the four lads who were going to be in the football podcast, and it was fucking good. Like flows nicely, everyone chats. John the Blues fucking proper sound. Like it's going to be a good little. I think it's going to be a good little podcast. We are looking for a fifth person, and we want it to be a United fan. But I'm going to do a tweet asking, like, scouting out. But it was good. So I'm going to do my football ones. I will do random football videos throughout the week because they're good for numbers even. And I haven't really minded talking about VAR and that, but because I feel like I watched the game and I feel like I was like quite passionate about it and that. So I will be doing football ones and that. But I need to do a random video every week. So the Craig David one was last week. I said this would be the NFL week, but I've been busy this week. I haven't done any. So my dad got out of hospital on Monday, so I went visiting him today. Like went to Bolton to see him today. Was obviously busy yesterday, busy Monday. So it's just been like a busy week. So I can't be asked doing research that I'll need to do for the NFL video and the MLS one. And the Combat Weekly is coming tomorrow, and I am starting doing not research, but putting little bullet points and notes for the Combat Weekly one, because that's like the little. I enjoy doing that, and I talk to people throughout the week. People message me about that throughout the week, and I enjoy so that's like the one that I'll always keep doing, even though it doesn't really get the views. So I needed to thought, what video can I do where I don't need any notes? I can show off me fucking. That is a fresh trim, by the way. Look at that. Oof. No more hats backwards because I've had a fresh trim. Look at that. Look at that fade. Shout out Conflict. Shout out Connor Butterworth, mate. You won't watch these videos, but what a fucking trim. So, but I needed to do a video anyway, so I've decided I'm going to do a video. I posted a picture before on Twitter of the house chicken that my mum has. So this is going to be a video no longer than 10 minutes because I'm taking myself away from the Newcastle game, and PSG have just made it 3-1. I'm hoping you can't hear the TV through this, but I don't think you will be able to. I'm going to do a video about my mum's chickens and my life as a person whose mum has chickens. Obviously, since I moved out, it's not been as bad. But yeah, I'm going to start from the start. So my mum, I am allergic to dogs. And I say this as my dog currently humps a teddy. Bobby, you little dog, get off that teddy. Yeah, so I was always allergic to dogs growing up, so we never had dogs. Plus, my dad despises dogs. Like even Bobby, like a little fluffy teddy like him, he will not let him touch him, doesn't go near him, hates dogs. So growing up, we always had like mad pets like hamsters, gerbils. My sister had rats once. Did she have rats or mice? No, we had mice, rabbits, cats. We've had everything, but we was never allowed dogs. My dad hates dogs. So my mum decided one year, how old must I have been? I want to say like 16, 17. No, I wouldn't have been 16 because we would have looked after them that year. So I want to say like maybe 17, 18. After I'd stopped, this is why these videos are kind of good, because even though we're talking about mum's chickens, we will just veer off as we always do. So I had to look after these chickens when mum and dad went on holiday, and I stopped going on holiday with mum and dad when I was 16 because when I was 17, they dragged me on holiday when I was 16. So when we used to always go to Ril, as I explained on the live chat, we used to always go to Ril or Spain every year because we had like 3 digs in both. But my sister stopped having to go to Spain when she was 16, so I was 12. So for the last 4 years of us going to Spain, it was just me and mum and dad, and it pissed me off that Becky was having like so much fun at home without us. And I was always told 16, you don't have to come on holiday when you're 16, right? So I went on holiday when I was 15, and I enjoyed myself knowing this was the last one. And then the next year they forced me to go with them again. And when you think, what happened on the first year when I was 17, it's understandable. So they made me go on holiday with them when I was 16 anyway, and I proper kicked up a fuss like I was a knobhead. I remember like I was in a mood all the time. I would always complain about everything. They'd ask me to take pictures and I'd just take the worst picture ever, like pull the phone up, take it and give it on back. Like I was a knobhead. But in my defence, I didn't want to be there as much as they didn't want me to be there. They just couldn't trust me at home. And like I said, when I was 17, so the next summer, they left me and went away. And the neighbours grassed us up because the first night they went away, I had a party and we was all jumped. So we used to have so it was there when we bought the house. We didn't build it or anything, but it's on all of them because my mum and dad live in like a semi-detached. They've lived in that house since we moved there when I was 2 weeks old, and they still live there now. Lived there all my life until I went and bought my first house. So we used to. It has like almost like an extension at the back. It's a playroom, but it's almost like an extension where the roof's obviously lower down than my sister's room, so you could climb onto it from my sister's room if your ball got stuck up there or whatever for whatever reason. And we was all on there jumping off with the tunes on, and my neighbours grassed us up, so they were right to take me on holiday at 16. But back onto the chicken story. So when they went on holiday, I never paid rent ever to live at home. Never paid rent to live at home. I think they tried to have a conversation with me when I was like 23, and it was like, I'm not paying rent. So they agreed that as long as I was saving for a mortgage, I could live there rent free. But one of the the things that I couldn't argue with about living there rent free was, my alarm's going to go off in 3 minutes, by the way, was that I had to look after the chickens when they went on holiday. And that's why I despise them, because they're just the worst animals ever. So I used to have to get up in the crack of dawn, let them out. Because every day, every chicken lays an egg. So my mum has always had 6 chickens. She's got 5 at the minute, but she always has 6. So every morning I had to go down, let them out, wait till they all fucking walk out of the hutch or whatever it's called, dead slow, pick up all the eggs, take the eggs inside, clean the shit off them, put them in the little egg thing, which is good. It's been good because I've never paid for eggs. When I lived at home, I never paid for eggs. Obviously, I never paid for anything. And then as soon as I moved out, my mum was getting 6 eggs every single day. So I've never had to pay for chicken eggs, because who's eating 6 eggs a day unless you're like some fucking little roidhead? Who the fuck is eating 6 eggs a day? So I used to get eggs all the time. I still do now. Anytime I go see them, I come home with at least 6 eggs, usually 12. Other than today, because she's fucking give them all away. She gives some to took them to playgroup and gives some to fucking fat. She's taking 6 to the biggest loser at Fat Club, so that's a fucking disgrace. But anyway, didn't get any eggs, but I've got 3 left, so we're all right. But yeah, hated them. Used to have to go down, fucking put new food out, give them fresh water, go and give them treats throughout the day if I had to. But I used to have to put them, and then the worst bit is when they go to bed. They'll only go to bed when it's dark, so I had to wait till it was dark, no matter what I was doing. Then I would have to go down and shut the door, because otherwise a fox would just get in and scran them or whatever. So you had to do it. So that's why I hate the chickens, and also because they're just fucking vile animals. Until you've lived with chickens and seen how bad they are, like chickens will eat anything. They eat anything, and I mean anything. My mum. So she gives them cheese, she gives them leftover fruit that people leave. If you had pie, chips and beans for tea, this is no bullshit. If you had pie, chips and beans for tea, she will scrape the leftovers into a little bowl from with lettuce, with anything else that's been left from the week. If she makes a salad and there's bits of tomato, not from the week, but from the day, sorry, because she gives it them every day, puts it all in a bowl, throws it into the chickens, and they eat it. They eat cake, birthday cake, they eat, is it pan of chocolate, whatever it's called, the almost looks like a croissant. No, not a croissant. It doesn't look anything like a croissant. It also looks like a sausage roll, but it's got chocolate in it, because told you. That's the ring dad. My dad stays up for the 10 o'clock news, so I ring him every night at 9:30. So I've snoozed that, and I've got, I said this would be 10 minutes, and I'm already on 9 minutes, but let's say it goes 15. I'll ring him after this. I've snoozed it. So yeah, they'll eat anything. They even eat their own shit. That's why my dad refuses. Will not. I also eat them. I don't care. Mum still eats them. Everyone loves them. Mum gives them out to people. They love them. The yolks are so like golden orange. You can't believe how good. You get double yolks and everything. The eggs are unbelievable. Well better than shop bought eggs. But my dad says because he's seen the chickens eat each other's shit. They eat each other's shit. If a chicken shits, one of the other chickens will eat the shit. They're disgusting animals. Yeah. So my dad won't eat them, so my dad has to get shop-born eggs. I can't remember what part of this story, but anyway, but mum's always had chickens. She calls them a girls because you're only allowed legally to keep girl chickens. Boy chickens are roosters, and they go cock-a-doodle-doo, and they'd wake all your neighbours up, so you're not allowed to keep them. So she keeps 6 girl chickens, and she calls them a girls, right? So this is the point of the story. So one of them, first time ever, she's had these chickens for what we're talking 15 years, maybe, I don't know, 15 years. They only last like 2 years, and she always replaces them. She's had 6. So if you Google, I've only ever liked one type of the chickens, because at first she just had the standard brown chickens, and then as she started having them for like longer and longer, she would like go to different farms and buy new types. So she used to have these chickens called silkies, and they used to lay like tiny eggs, but they were this. Look, Google silky chickens. They're sick. They've got like long, dead long necks, furry necks, and they're like. She had a black one, and they were just they're just sick. And she always gives them names, but I can never remember the names. But I remember back in the cringy days of Twitter, she let me name one, and we called it Jet. Me and Twitter called it Jet Fuel. And now I look back and cringe, but at the time it was kind of funny. But so she's always has these chickens anyway. So anyway, randomly, one of these chickens started being weird. It used to, because obviously the eggs that the girl chickens lay, without a male, does the male have to fertilise the eggs? Without a male to fertilise the eggs, they're just eggs and we eat them. They're just dud. They'll never, no matter what, they'll never hatch. We're not eating dead chickens because they'll never ever hatch yet. So one of her chickens randomly started like staying in, won't come out, sits on the eggs all day, won't leave the hutch or whatever, won't leave the finger. So they're in a run, because when she first got the chickens, she just let them have free roam in the garden, because she obviously didn't know that. And this is, bear in mind, mum and dad's garden's quite big. Yeah, it's not they paid buttons for the house in fucking 1992, but the garden's quite big. Me and the lads used to go in that garden, used to have a footy net at the end of the garden. We used to do like 3-a-side games in that garden with our studs on, and that grass has always withstood all of that. We used to do tables, ladders and chairs matches in that garden. We used to hang the fucking belt from the tree and do ladder matches in that garden, and the grass has always been fine. Them chickens, in the space of like 2 months, ate every single blade of grass. We had to get the whole garden returfed. So now they've got like an area at the end of the garden where it's fenced off. They've got like loads of room, a load of run, all sawdust and all this shit. And they get fed well, and they've got a nice little house. But one of the chickens wouldn't come out of the little house, the little gaff thing. She used to just sit on eggs all the day. So my mum was like, what do I do? So she must have looked on Google or whatever and found out they want to hatch an egg. So my mum went to a farm, bought a fertile egg, and just hoped for the best. And this fucking chicken hatched the egg. The egg hatched, and it had a little chick. So obviously they couldn't leave the chicken with the other chickens, because I don't know if you know how ruthless chickens are, mate. Them chickens have attacked a cat before. They're fucking ruthless. They fight each other and everything. So they had to. So originally, the chicken mum and the baby was in a little cage in the run, so they could smell each other, see each other, but they couldn't be with each other. And that the mum chicken was raising the chicken, feeding it, teaching it things. It was growing up. It was thriving, and she was teaching it, how to be a fucking big chicken and that. And then eventually, she must have just got bored and thought, "Fuck this little chicken off," and she was like wanted to get off, stopped helping it. So my mum's put her back in with the other girls. But the chickens are ruthless. They would just see this chicken as another mouth to feed, and they'd kill it. They'd kill the chicken, they'd bully it and kill it in 2 nights, maybe at most. So my mum has had to take this chicken indoors and raise it till it's big enough to go with the other ones. But it's illegal to have male chickens in this country, and you don't know, chickens' bits don't dangle or anything. So she's just raising this chicken in the hope that it's a girl, and she can put it eventually. That's why I think she only got 5 chickens at the minute, because I'm guessing this is going to be the 6th. She's hoping it's going to be a girl, and she can say, look, I fucking finally hatched my own chicken, raised it, and now it's one of them, as opposed to just going to a farm and buying them every 2 years on like a cycle. So what do we reckon it is? Hopefully it's going to be, well, I don't really give a shit, to be honest. I'll be honest, I would not be asked if that chicken died, but yeah, my mum's hoping it's a girl. So I'm going to do regular. This has been 13.5 minutes now, and I don't even think anyone's going to watch this video, because who gives a fuck about chickens? But I just needed something that I could do off the top of my head without any notes. So yeah, that's my story about my mum's chickens, and I will keep people updated via Twitter about the life of the chicken and if it's a boy or a girl. Like and fucking subscribe, and instead of fucking tweeting me and DMing me about things on YouTube, comment on the YouTube videos, you arseholes. That's good for the algorithm. Bye.